So I've been to the Eras Tour 5 times, and that sounds crazy. Yes, I know. I'm like literally crying thinking I just bought a fake ticket. So that's how I ended up on the floor in Nashville night 2. When it comes to Taylor Swift, I really have no financial responsibility. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Nina. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new, thanks for coming back. I know over the past couple months I've gotten a lot of new friends on this channel and I'm so excited that you guys are all here. So if you've just joined the channel this year, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. And if you've been here for the past year, 2 years, 3 years, also thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much for staying with me this long, and it's just been great to connect with you guys recently through DMs, finally meeting people in person. It's just been really fun. Anyways, I'm just so happy that Taylor Swift has brought us all together to be here today. Okay, so I wasn't sure I was going to make a video like this because I just feel like there's a great amount of luck that comes with getting tickets to the Eras Tour, and just like there's an element of just like completely random chance, and there's not like one right way, one magic way to get you tickets. But I've had so many people over the past few months DM me comments like how did I get tickets and just my experience with everything, and if I could give you guys tips or advice on getting them. And I even have people from like high school and college and just random people from my life texting me like, Nina, I see you're going to the Eras Tour. How do I get there? And I think the best way for me to give my tips is to just tell you how I was able to get these tickets, and also just what I did to make it easier for myself per se, or give myself a better chance of getting the tickets. Which is why I was hesitant to make a video like this, because nothing is guaranteed with these tickets. Like, I feel like everybody knows that by now, how hard it has been to get there just once, let alone more than once. That being said, I've been lucky enough and I've put in enough effort in order to go to the Eras Tour more than once. And this video is not to brag or like rub it in or make you guys feel bad if you haven't even gotten to go once, especially with the announcement of the international tour that was like about a week and a half ago, with the Europe dates, UK, Asia, just like Australia. Just, it's kind of crazy the amount of dates, and officially there are now more dates internationally than there are in the US, which has never happened for Taylor Swift. So I am just so happy for everybody that lives abroad, because I feel like Taylor's going to places she's never been before. She's going to countries she hasn't been to in a really long time, and I know that everyone has just been anticipating this. So I'm really excited for the international fans. I don't know entirely what's going on with the international pre-sales, but I'm going to try my best to kind of like talk through that, because I know there's only, you know, a handful of dates left for the US tour, so a lot of my experience will mostly help with getting tickets to these last few shows here, but also because Ticketmaster is also used in a lot of countries in Europe, it might be helpful for that as well. So I just thought I would just talk through it anyways, just in case that this helps you, and also talk about more like general tips and advice on the ticket process, because starting in a few weeks, they're going to start selling tickets in the pre-sale for the Europe tour. I've already seen people securing tickets to the Latin America tour and to Australia, so good job for you guys if you were able to snag those tickets. I don't know much about resale abroad, but I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about Ticketmaster, SeatGeek, and a few other things that are international resellers, and different other ways that you can get resale tickets if you didn't hit the sale the first time around, if you weren't successful the first time around in the pre-sale for you, or if you were waitlisted or something like that. The thing about securing last minute tickets through like surprise drops where they open up the queue and tickets are like a free-for-all, that process has changed like basically week to week for this entire summer for the US tour, but I'm just gonna talk about that as well, the last minute Ticketmaster drops. And yeah, I'm just gonna tell you guys about my journey with the Eras tour and getting all the tickets, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna try to be as transparent as possible because I know a lot of people like buy resale tickets and don't say how much they paid for them or just like are a little shady about how they got the tickets, but I'm gonna really try to just tell you guys cut and dry exactly what I did. And also, if we can keep the hate comments to a minimum for the fact that I've been to more than one show, that would be great. The real enemy here is Ticketmaster. I've said this many times before. The problem is not Swifties getting tickets. It is Ticketmaster and the resellers because, again, they've dropped one new LA show and already hundreds and thousands of tickets are already on the resale sites. So that is the reason you didn't get a ticket, not me going twice. I don't mean for that to sound passive aggressive. I'm just like, I'm tired of people coming at me for trying to go more than once, and this is not something that just I am doing. So many people are doing it. Also, people have come from Europe to go to the US shows. There's a lot of people that are paying for resale tickets, and so I think everybody is entitled to spend their money however they want to. Resale is fair game. If it's, you know, on those sites, anybody can buy them. So anyways, that is all I'm gonna say. Moving on. So I've been to the Eras tour 5 times. And that sounds crazy. Yes, I know. But at the day of the pre-sale, I only had tickets to 2 shows. I had 2 shows. And so for the original pre-sale back in December, I had like 8 people sign up for the pre-sale registration. 2 of my friends got codes and me. So we had 3 pre-sale codes out of like 8 to 10 people signing up for the pre-sale. And me being the resident Swiftie, I was kind of in charge. We have friends that live in Nashville that wanted to go, and we had my friends that live in SoCal and NorCal, and we wanted to go to the Arizona show because it was the first show ever. So there was a lot going on. So on that fateful day of the US Ticketmaster pre-sale, I woke up at like 7 a.m. and me and my friend and my sister and my cousin, there's like 4 of us in my kitchen, and we just sat on our computers for literally 8 to 10 hours. There was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into this. It took hours of waiting in the queue, and my friend Maddie was sitting in the Arizona queue, which was on SeatGeek. So during that pre-sale, only the Texas show and the Arizona shows were specifically on SeatGeek. So there was a lot less volume of people on their website. So that queue went, it was still crazy and it was still like glitchy, but it went better than the Ticketmaster sale. And so that was the first one we got into. We got into the Arizona show and we were able to get 3 nosebleed seats to the first show. Barely. I think we're in. No! No! Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yes!
It worked?
Oh. Yes!
Like, if we had gotten in minutes later, we probably wouldn't have got those tickets in the first place. And so we secured those tickets first, which was like a huge relief because at least we were going and we really wanted to be at that first show. Fast forward, sitting for hours and hours and hours in the LA queue. I was the only one that got in, so we had 2 codes, and so my friend did not get the tickets that time around with her code, but I got us tickets for our group in the nosebleeds. Again, just barely. I had these nosebleed seats in the cart, and then we got kicked out of the cart like twice, and then finally we secured the seats, got through. We were like, oh my gosh, we did not realize it was gonna be this hard. I also like have recorded this whole process, so if you want to go see my video of me, like I vlogged the whole day of me trying to get tickets. It's a little stressful for me to watch back. I really can't watch it because it's just like gives me anxiety thinking about that whole day. Oh my god. Oh, okay, here we go. We're in.
Alright.
No! Oh!
Yes!
Oh, damn. But yes, so I had nosebleed seats to the first show and nosebleed seats to LA. And that's what we walked out of the pre-sale with. Fought for those. Oh my gosh. So 6 months goes by. We are preparing for the first show in Arizona. There was 2 nights that weekend. So she played 2 shows in Arizona and we didn't have tickets to the second night. And so leading up to the show the week of, we're like, maybe we could find resale seats that are like just cheap enough for us to go again. Basically, I just watched all of the resale sites to see if the ticket prices would go down the closer you got to the show. And that's what I assumed. And so we got there on Thursday, the day before the show. And Thursday night, we were in our hotel and we were looking and we're like, I think we need to buy these seats because I think once the first show happens, everybody's gonna want to go to it. And so that night we secured lower bowl resale tickets from Game Time. We were on the Game Time app and they had like a flash deal and they had 3 lower bowl seats for $350 each, which if you've been on the resale sites, that is an absolute steal. That's only around $100 to $200 more than the face value, and now those seats probably go for like $1,000 or more, probably more, leading up to the show.
Did it work? Yes. Wait, you got it.
Is it in my Seeky?
We're doing
it! I'm so glad we bought those tickets when we did, because then again, after the first show, those prices skyrocketed. And so we were able to go to the second show with the resale tickets that we bought. On that day of the pre-sale back in December, our friend in Nashville ended up getting a code, and we were not originally supposed to go with her, but she had to get on an airplane. She gave us her login information and said, can you please try to get me any tickets? So we sat in the queue for her. We were able to secure nosebleed seats. The best we could do is get nosebleeds for her. We got 6. So we weren't sure she was going to invite us to the Nashville show. We were just merely, getting those tickets for her. And then she ended up extending the offer. So me and my sister flew to Nashville to go to this show. Our friend lived there, so we were able to stay with her. Basically, all we had to pay for was our flight, and the nosebleed ticket that we got at face value was $131. And so that was 100% worth it. So we had tickets to that Sunday night. So we get to Nashville, and in my brain, I'm like, I gotta find another resale ticket to go Friday or Saturday. I wanted to go to another show, and that was just in my brain. I'm like, when it comes to Taylor Swift, I really have no financial responsibility. Like, I spend money that I don't have. I'm not telling you guys, like, I have all this money to spend on Taylor Swift tickets, because I really don't. So I'm not saying it's a financially responsible thing to do to drop a bunch of money on resale tickets, but it's all about priorities. So anyways, it comes to Friday night. She announces Speak Now, and I die because I'm not there. And so I'm in my brain, I'm like, I need to go to the next show. So Saturday, night 2, me and all of our friends go to Broadway, which is like their main street in Nashville, and it's like right next to the bridge that you walk over to the stadium. So I tell them, oh, I'm gonna go over to the bridge, I'm gonna hang out and maybe watch like some of the show from the bridge or listen to it, because a lot of people have been standing outside the stadium. So I'm like, I'm gonna go do that. So then I'm looking on all of the apps. I had all 5 resale apps, and I'm just switching from one to the other, trying to see if there's a seat that's like, somewhat reasonable. I tried to buy a ticket twice. It wasn't going through. The internet was so terrible on the bridge because of how many people were there. So I'm like walking away from the crowd of people. Finally, I see a seat on TickPick that honestly was too much money. But at that point, I felt so crazy that I was just crazy enough to do it. So I see this floor seat in row 11, I think, and I'm like, I need it. I need that seat. And I can hear the song before Taylor goes on playing. I am running out of time. If you haven't seen the vlog, I vlogged this whole thing. So I buy the ticket. At first I thought I was buying like a $600 or $700 ticket. It ended up being a little bit more than that. It was less than $1,000, I will tell you. So I'm gonna say it was between $800 and $1,000, in that range, which is crazy, but it was a floor seat. So I'm like, I would not pay that much for anything but a floor seat. So I impulse buy this ticket on TickPick. It goes through, and then I'm freaking out because I just spent so much money, and Taylor is about to take the stage, and so there's a lot to process. I get an email confirming my purchase on TickPick, and it says it could take up to 10 minutes for the seller to like send you the tickets or approve it or whatever. And so I'm like literally having a breakdown. I'm on the phone with my friend Audarina back in California. I'm just like having a panic attack because my internet sucks. I go to the email when I finally got the tickets sent to me, and it is not letting me transfer the tickets. There is not enough like data internet service. It kept saying like, you know, page not found, whatever, can't complete your request. And so I had to have her sign into my Ticketmaster on her computer and do like the whole two-step verification thing. And then she had to sign into my email to transfer the ticket into my Ticketmaster. It was a whole mess. Like a whole mess. I'm like literally crying, thinking I just bought a fake ticket, or like I was just like having a breakdown. Eventually she gets in, she says, okay, refresh your account, and I refreshed my Ticketmaster and there it was. The ticket was there. So I took off sprinting. I've never run that fast in my entire life. I get there, get inside, get to my seat, and by the time I'm walking down, she is in the lover era. So I'm like sprinting outside and she's singing The Man, and I'm like, I am crazy.
I wanted to do this so badly as a kid.
But I get in, and the two people sitting next to me, they're like, oh, did you just buy a ticket? And I'm like, yes, like 10 minutes ago. And they're like, oh, we bought tickets like 20 minutes ago for $1,500 each. And I'm like, moral of the story is I spent a lot of money, but not as much money as some other people paid for resale tickets. So that's how I ended up on the floor in Nashville night 2. Crazy, impulsive spending. Then on night 3 was the one that we had tickets for, the nosebleeds, and that was the rain show, the shit show of lightning storm, shelter in place, drenched in rain, in my best dress, fearless. You know, she played till like 3 in the morning.
Even and crying.
So that's how I went to 2 Nashville shows. Fast forward to now, like exactly a week ago, I did another crazy thing, which was fly to Minnesota for 24 hours to see the Taylor Swift concert. I have a friend that lives in Minnesota who got waitlisted from the presale, so she did not get any tickets the first time around, and up until 2 weeks ago, she had no tickets. Exactly like a week before the concert, so 2 weeks ago, she got a text saying, here's a presale code, you've been selected. She could buy up to 4 tickets. So she bought 2 tickets for the first night and 2 tickets for the second night. And she had somebody to go with her the second night. She didn't have anyone to go with her the first night, and, you know, me being crazy, and I'm just joking, and she's like, oh, you could fly all the way to Minnesota, see Taylor Swift again. And I'm like, don't say that because I will do it. And so the next day I looked at flights and I'm like, it would be cheaper to fly to Minnesota and pay her for the face value of the ticket she got than it would be to buy a resale ticket. Alas, I booked the flight to Minnesota on like this cheap airline. Again, I have all these videos on my channel if you want to see it in real time. She was able to get 2 lower bowl seats for around $200, which is insane. And it was the best, most spontaneous thing I've ever done, pretty much. Like flying across the country for 24 hours. Of course, Taylor Swift. I would do that for her.
I can't believe I'm here right now.
So, as you can see, my process of getting Eras Tour tickets is very, first, impulsive, financially irresponsible, and and just pure luck and like my will to see Taylor Swift. Like the lengths I will go to are extreme. I guess it depends on your priorities and yourself, just what you want to do. So that is why I've gone to that many shows. So I still have my show in LA with my friends in the nosebleeds. That is my journey to getting that many tickets to Eras Tour. Moving on, my next thing I wanted to talk about was resale tickets and just like other options if you were not able to get tickets in the original sale. People are getting real creative with how they're getting Eras Tour tickets, so it just depends on how much work you want to put in to get them. So your first option, of course, is resale tickets, resale sites. It's the worst option, honestly, because first of all, you don't want to support the bots and the scalpers and these Ticketmaster, like, ugh. And second of all, they're like hella expensive, extremely expensive. They do go down closer to the show, but you have to be really, really strategic about it. It's more risky and it's more expensive. If you do want to kind of go that route, I would suggest getting all 5 of the resale apps on your phone, and I just kept an eye on it. Like leading up to the Nashville show, I just would check it almost every single day. SeatGeek, StubHub, TickPick, Vivid Seats, Game Time app. The ones I've had luck with are Game Time, which is the first one I used, and then I used TickPick in Nashville. The one thing that I liked about TickPick was that the fees, like the price that you see includes all the fees, and so I would go on like SeatGeek or StubHub and click on it, but that's the price before they add all the other things onto it. So it's really like an extra, literally like $200 if you see a price on SeatGeek or like some of the other ones. You have to add in your head like $200 to that. So I liked that on TickPick that that was the price, and so you just kind of know that is the full price, and maybe you have to pay like tax, but I think that was it. They all have their pros and cons. So like I said, I've only had success with Game Time and TickPick. Those are the only ones I've used, so I can't really speak on the other ones. The one thing I will say about resale tickets is that the prices are always the lowest right before the first show in a city, so before night 1. I always notice that prices go up a lot on night 2, and they stay high for night 3. So just keep that in mind if you're gonna try for resale tickets. Try for the first night in your city. Another way you can get resale tickets is by going on Twitter and following Twitter accounts that help people sell tickets at face value. So I started following Eras Tour Resale. They have grown. They have so many followers now, but basically they post tickets on there and they kind of help you not get scammed essentially. So it's basically like fans selling to fans. I wouldn't like rely on it because even there it's like really hard because they'll post tickets and like they'll sell in like 2 seconds. Like there'll be like a million DMs to the seller. But that's one way. There's a couple other accounts that I would follow. Like I think there's one called Swifties Want Tix, Eras Tour Tix. So there are people helping other Swifties, which they're doing the Lord's work by trying to get like face value tickets for the real fans. I will have all this info in the description box. So if you want the details of these Twitter accounts or apps or anything, that will be in the description box down below. The third way that you can get last minute tickets is through Ticketmaster's last minute ticket drops to the public. We had no idea this was going to be a thing, but a few weeks into the tour, Ticketmaster started opening up the queue for people to buy tickets. Like you didn't even need to be a verified fan, you didn't need a pre-sale code. They would just open up the queue and anybody could join it, and they would just drop tickets randomly at face value. I've seen as low as like $79 for like obstructed seats. It's kind of crazy that they just decided to do that, but that process has been changing. It used to be a couple days leading up to the show, now it's like at specific times. Also, it's been lately like 2 weeks before a show on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, they would send out pre-sale codes to people on the wait list to buy tickets. And that's how my friend got tickets in Minneapolis. So if you were waitlisted and didn't get into the verified fan, keep an eye on your phone, in your email, in your spam folder to see if they are going to send you a code for your show about 2 weeks before. And this is mostly information for the US dates that are left, but if your country uses Ticketmaster, this could also be the case. So just keep that in mind if your country uses Ticketmaster as their way of selling tickets. And then lately, in the days leading up to the show, literally until the day of, Ticketmaster does these drops again, they will just randomly drop tickets. So in Nashville, I tried to do it, but I just wasn't quick enough. I'd get them in my cart and then I'd try to check out and it would say, a fan beat you to those tickets. So the only way you can know if you've gotten the tickets is if you have a cart timer. If you don't have a cart timer, you did not get the tickets. And so basically, once you like get through the queue and into the stage map, immediately scroll down to the last one and just click it and check out as fast as you can. A lot of people are going to click on the very first option, so if you kind of scroll down to the bottom and click it, you might have a chance. And again, if it says sold out, just keep refreshing like every 5 to 7 seconds, because sometimes it'll say sold out and then you refresh it and then tickets show up again. They either are adding tickets or people's carts are timing out or people are getting kicked out. And so you just gotta persevere and just like keep going, keep pressing forward. Another way is if you toggle the amount of tickets. So if you toggle it from 1 to 2, 2 to 3 tickets, different tickets might show up. So that's another way that you can kind of like, you know, game the system a little bit. These ticket drops are pretty limited. They've had a few bigger ones recently. If you get lucky, this is probably the best way to get tickets last minute. Okay, and quickly at the end here, I just wanted to talk about the international dates and just like a few like general tips here. I know that like I was kind of clicking through looking to see like which countries use which platform, and I know your guys' own countries have your own like ticket selling platforms sometimes, but I saw that all of the UK is still Ticketmaster and a few of the countries in Europe are also Ticketmaster still. I think it's going to follow very similarly to how the US is going. So my advice to you is if you have registered for the presale and you get chosen, I would get there so early. I'd get there like 30 minutes early, log into your Ticketmaster account, make sure all of your payment information is in there. I've seen that people are saying if you have Apple Pay, the payment process goes much quicker because you don't have to do two-step verification. So that's something to think about. If you have Apple Pay, connect it to your Ticketmaster account. Same thing that I was saying before, if you get in and it says sold out, you just gotta persevere, refresh, change the amount of tickets, change the price range, scroll down the list, shoot, just like you just gotta keep it going. There's a few other concerts of other artists that I've done this for and it has worked where it's sold out and then I refreshed it or I changed the amount of tickets I wanted and there was tickets available. But right now the registration for international dates is closed, so there's no longer any chances to sign up for the pre-sale. So if you haven't yet, you might be able to, you know, go through like that resale process or like the last minute drops. But if you did register, you will get an email on July 5th, it says, from I just read through Taylor's website and the different countries. July 5th, they're gonna send out codes or like confirmation emails to people that have been chosen, and you'll find out if you're on the wait list or if you are a verified fan. So if you're chosen, you will get a pre-sale code, I believe like the day before the sale. And if you're on the wait list, you might have opportunities in the future, like they have had for the US, where like you have that second chance opportunity or you get that chance like a few weeks before your show. So if you get waitlisted, don't give up hope. There could still be a chance for you in the future. It has been really awesome to see how many shows she's doing like in all of these countries that she's never been to, because I just can tell like people are so excited that she's finally coming to their country. And even though like it's still gonna be hard to get tickets, it's really exciting that she is going to all these new countries. So I've seen from TikTok and wherever that the Latin American shows in Australia have already gone on sale and they're already like sold out. And I'm not sure about their resale process, but I would go to Twitter as always and try to see if someone has started like a resale Twitter or something like that. One thing I will say with the pre-sale happening, maybe check with your bank and call them and tell them you're gonna spend money on concert tickets if you're planning on spending a lot of money, because we tried to get these tickets and our bank denied and blocked the charge because they thought it was fraud. So if you're worried about that, just call and make sure your bank's all good to go so you don't lose tickets, because then we got kicked out because they blocked the charge and we almost didn't get our tickets. So that is something to make sure. And if you're in one country and buying tickets for another country, sometimes your bank thinks that's fraud because you're spending money in another country. So just keep that in mind as well. At the end of the day, getting tickets to this tour is like a literal war, a battle. We called it the Great War. But if you're lucky enough to get the tickets, like that is gonna be so amazing. Just because you're registered doesn't guarantee you tickets, but it does give you a really good chance at getting tickets. So just like have hope and just like pray. Just start praying now. I wish everybody the best of luck, and if you're not successful your first time around, just keep persevering and keep trying. There's other ways to get tickets besides just this pre-sale. They might be more difficult, but with the effort and the luck, you might be able to score some tickets. All that to say, I just want to thank you guys for being here. I hope any of this helped you at all. If you have any more questions, comment down below. It's crazy to me that this tour is going to be going on for another year, so you guys have like a whole year till next summer. Hopefully in that time there's other opportunities for fans. I really hope something happens to protect the fans and make sure that they get these tickets. But yeah, I'm really happy for all of you subscribers that are abroad, because I know a lot of you are international subscribers, and that's just been so great. And if you are able to score tickets, comment down below so I can celebrate with you in the comments. I can't wait to see you guys get tickets. I wish you all the best. Comment down below what other videos you guys want to see from me. I know it's been a lot of Eras Tour content lately, but you know, that's just what I've been living, breathing the Eras Tour for the last like 6 months. But if there's anything else, let me know. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Also, if you're going to the LA show, comment down below so we can hang out. Okay, bye.